stop, and landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, please.
Ever departure of Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilots 4658 is type PC final slam call, request clearance to Vegas S file.
Pilots 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be full route standby. Pilots 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas Airport. VFR Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7. Squawk 6316.
Pilots 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3. Initially climb 7000, expect 025, departure 167, focus 67, plus 465.
Pause 4658, read back is correct. Tango, you might connect to the ground via Echo and frequency.
Fixing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26, left, report base.
Enter left downwind 26 left to report your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242, on the visual for 20 right, returning for right base starting.
United 242, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, 20 right, land.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Left base land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground, Pilots 4658 is trying to weather going for taxi.
Pilots 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the island.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 900 clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, low approach, runway 9, next to north.
Palm Springs Tower, Pilots 4658 ready to go trail right at Bravo.
And it was the 30 order user.
Pause 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Shift takeoff trail right, Pilots 465.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, Roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha. Pilots 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking base.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, and on this frequency taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
November 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed?
November 2903 Alpha going missing.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying public missed approach procedure. November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency 135.4.
135.4 for departure. November 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left. Number 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower, good afternoon. Ontario, wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear the active uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on south ramp via Sierra, remain on this frequency.
Via Sierra on this frequency, 6 Delta.
Riverside Tower, Riverside ground, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha request taxi to the transient parking.
Number 2903 Alpha Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Should stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold short point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to West via Alpha, broadband, November 2903 Alpha.
Runway clear. Runway clearance, November 6th. Charlie Mike, like Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike, Jolly clearance. Good evening, good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be, let's go, Kilo, Oscar X-ray, Romeo.
That's Kilo, Oscar, X-ray, Romeo. 620 Mike.
Yes, sir, good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through. Which reminds us.
Las Vegas Tower Plus 4658 visual 1 hour right 4500.
Plus 4658 Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land 1 hour right 465.
Plus 658 exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel, remain on this frequency today.
Exit right, hotel, red frequency update 465.
Ground number 95 for Whiskey Alpha's Piper Comanche PH4/Alpha. Taxi be active, VFR east departure with weather.
Calling Long Beach ground, need you just to verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound and the east ramp just south of runway 25.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger, runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo for departure via parking east.
Around 16 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right downwind departure approved.
Clear for takeoff 25 right, right downwind departure 6 Whiskey Alpha. Good day, Palm Springs, ground scanning hotel Tango. East red, India, close traffic, 31 right.
Papa Hotel Tango tonight, Palm Springs ground, say good aircraft type.
4A Cessna Sky.
Skyline Tango, you might thank you, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo, 31 right,
We're center 791 Juliet, towards ground left.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. We see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground. Just say your intentions.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. Type Cessna 172 on the south angles with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to
Number 791 Juliet, roger, departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1249 is 2061.
Got 991 Juliet, read back as correct, are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just gotta go around to the side. Sky 791 Juliet, south angles 0956.
Sky 791 Juliet, roger, runway 29 right, taxi via hotel, correction, taxi via Alpha in Juliet.
29 right taxi by Alpha and Juliet, Sky 791 Juliet.
Palm Springs Tower, scanning Papa Hotel Tango. Mike is holding short runway 31 right, Bravo, and ready for departure, close traffic.
Hello everyone, happy Monday! A weekly VFR challenge. If you haven't heard already, I've posted a video on my YouTube channel and on Twitter and stuff. Also posted, that's actually where it started. It started on Discord, where I thought with some of my fellow aviator friends, we need to fly more often, and we need to fly more often VFR, because I love to fly VFR, especially as part of group flights. So I came up with this idea, a weekly VFR challenge every Monday of the week at the same time at 17:30 Zulu time. Everyone is invited to fly the same flight, the same VFR flight with a nice challenge, sometimes a little bit more challenging than other times, just to fly together here on this wonderful PilotEdge network, and just to keep a rhythm going. So this is a new kind of, well, not really a project, but a new kind of way, a social experience, I guess, to also prioritize on our VFR flying. I'm currently busy learning about IFR flying, as you might know, but VFR flying is also very, very cool, and also allows us to be a little bit more creative and think about how we can best approach our destination airport and stuff. So this is the very first one. I hope you like this idea, and if you have a PilotEdge account, feel free to jump aboard right now. Jump into your own airplane, hop over to Palm Springs here, and do the same flight. Now, what kind of flight are we going to do? So the idea is that in preparation of each Monday, every Monday of the week, I will publish a flight plan, a very general kind of flight plan to allow you guys to figure out your own way of getting to the destination airport, considering the particular challenge of the day. So let me go to my PDF here and I can show you guys. This is the very first VFR challenge of Monday the 14th. So this is a PDF that I publish on my Twitter. If you are not following me right now on Twitter, do so, or hop over to Discord. That's actually the best place, because that's where we've set up a dedicated channel where all PilotEdge VFR enthusiasts come together and we discuss this particular flight plan, every flight plan, and we talk about aviation and cockpit building and all kinds of other stuff. So that's the Discord channel. You can find it also here on top. You can see the link. Can I do that like this? You can see the link there at the top. You can also look at my information pane on my channel here, and you can find on my Twitch channel here, you can find a link there as well. So you're most welcome to jump on. And this is the flight. What we're going to do today is we're going to fly from Palm Springs to Ramona Airport, and the challenge is that we need to work with a cruise ceiling of 1500 feet AGL, so we need to keep low and then figure out the best route to fly. Now that's interesting, isn't it? And I've invited, I just had a day or so just to announce this, so I don't know how many people will jump aboard. I think already a few are now on Palm Springs. Guys who've been jumping over from YouTube to Discord and stuff like, hey, this is cool. I'd like to collaborate, I'd like to participate. So I'm hoping that over time these VFR challenges, these weekly VFR challenges, get increasingly popular, which is fun and very cool, and we might meet new friends and stuff. That might be really, really interesting. But also, obviously, together we create more VFR traffic. Think about being in a pattern at a towered airport with 5 people. How to handle that? That's so different from flying a traffic pattern on your own when you're VFR. And also here, I'm a European-based PilotEdger. I reside here in the Netherlands, and so obviously when the official PilotEdge events are going on, it's completely off of my time zone. So I'm also hoping that a lot of PilotEdge members who are living in Europe also like this idea, just to jump on this project and let's fly together here on VFR. That's the idea. So I hope you enjoy that. So 17:30 Zulu, we have around 8 minutes left before we're going to start this particular flight from Palm Springs to Ramona, and we cannot go any higher than 1500 feet AGL. And everyone that is jumping aboard, if you have a PilotEdge account, please still jump aboard your airplane and start here at Palm Springs. Figure out how you're going to do that in a safe manner. I'm also thinking about doing debriefs, video debriefs on YouTube, to share my ideas and considerations for this flight, so we increase that educational value, and also for me a chance to learn from you guys, because I'm not suggesting that I'm the VFR expert at all. This is again another excuse to bring as many experienced pilots, real-world pilots aboard that can teach us how to improve our VFR flying as well. So again, a social experience, a get-together of improving our flying here. VFR. Okay, so what's gonna be the plan? Well, I have figured out a way to get to Ramona, and this is my way. From Palm Springs, I'm gonna hop over from airport to airport to get all the way down to Ramona. We've got perfect VMC weather, which is nice. I believe at Ramona, as forecasted, we have a cloud layer at around 200 or 2,000 feet. Yeah, few clouds, 2,200, 7 knot wind coming from 270. And obviously a big mountain range that we need to cross over. And obviously there might be another way to get there in a more efficient, safe way. For example, going through this particular pass and going this along this direction. But I thought, well, in case we got engine trouble or other stuff and I need to have more visual references, I chose to go this route. We can also use some VFR, some vortex here to go by to get to Ramona, so we can talk about this a little bit more once we are flying. But perhaps other pilots now will start doing this flight and choose other routes to go. But in any case, we need to stay lower than we cannot fly any higher than 1,500 feet AGL. So this is going to be the idea. Excuse me. Chart. Palm Springs. I'm currently parked over there, the east ramp, my favorite ramp here, and this is also my favorite airport, Palm Springs. It's been a long time since I've been here in this virtual world here of Palm Springs. I love this area and I love this airport. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to request flight following. I'm just going to request a eastbound departure with no flight following, and we just get on our way. So we sign in with clearance first, and then we go. We have 6 minutes left, so let's start up our engines. And once we hit 17:30, let's go. And I'm hoping that we will hear other pilots on the radio as well doing the same flight as we do, as we are going to complete, and we meet up all at our destination airport. I think this is cool. And again, we're going to do this weekly, so if you don't find the time yet to fly and you think, hey, this is cool, next Monday you are most welcome to join this VFR Challenge event as well. I will publish a new flight plan for next Monday. Perhaps after this event, I've already thought about many creative ways which we can brush off our VFR skills. So I think that's really cool. Stefan, good to see you. Ah, you're the taxi into position and hold. Ah, cool. Good to hear. Well, welcome, Stefan, and glad you're also jumping on board here. Let's get flying, guys. In the cockpit. All right. Let's first calibrate our track IR here and close the door. Some clouds here at Palm Springs, which is a bit unusual. Let's fasten our seatbelts, real seatbelts in the seat, as always. And let's do our checks. Cold and dark. Parking brakes are set. No, they are now. A live vest, fire extinguisher. Let's pretend that it's okay. Door closed, window closed. LT set to auto. Flap lever is up, and our flaps are actually up. That's good. My mixture is working. My throttle is working. Trim is set. Fuel tank set to both. In, off. Lights are off except for the beacon. Is that correct? No, it's not. Ah, there it is. My Cytec panel is now also in sync. Yeah, it seems to be working. Awesome. Let's turn on our electronics here. We do have enough gallons to make this flight, so that's good. I'm not going to check the lights. No need. We've got good VMC weather. But I do like to see whether my flaps are working. Good to hear, Idol. Thank you for jumping on board. Your own airplane, obviously. Okay, flaps go down. That's good. Flaps go up and in sync. Wonderful. We're already squawking. And that's not good. And this is because I've experimented with a new transponder scheme of mine. And I didn't reset that. And it's always a little bit tricky. Always reset your transponder to off, because now I was already squawking. And that's not good. So 1200 and off, we're going to set that soon. Com radios, everything. I'm just interested in whether the devices are working. It looks good. What's our airport elevation? That is, looking at the airport chart, 476. Well, that's about right. This is completely off. 40. Oh, that's a bit weird. Why is my heading indicator not working? Let me see. I believe that is an error. I'm flying one of the latest beta versions of the Reality Extension Pack for the 172, and this is a bug that I found earlier and it hasn't been fixed yet, so I need to look into that. That means that we need to perhaps fly on the magnetic compass or the GPS. That's fine for today. It's an additional challenge. This is good. Alright, then I'm gonna let me see, cut off the avionics. Very good. Bit of throttle in, fuel pump on. 1, 2, 3, prime the engine, cut off, very good. And everything is set. Yeah, so is there anyone walking around? No, so clear prop. Hello? Why isn't it working? We could have, I saw a fuel flow going. So if I prime the engine again, I might flood the engine. Perhaps a bit more power. Doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right. Let's then do an additional prime. Fuel pump on. 1, 2. Again. That's new. And again, beta versions are dangerous. Let me see. No, looking at rep, it seems to be okay. Is there anything that I can do? I have fuel. At least we have a fuel gauge that is positive. We can check that. Those gauges in real life are actually quite unreliable. Customize. Weight and balance. Yeah, that's correct. Fuel cutoff. Seems to be okay. I could have primed the engine. Or flooded the engine. Let's try that. And that was the case. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back to 1200, otherwise we run into too high RPMs. Okay, that's new behavior that I'm not used to. Let me see, let's lean for ground. There we go. Alternator on, we see a rise in the M meter. Our parking brakes are working, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit of a new thing going on there with rep. I apparently flooded the engine and there was no other solution or real-world solution than that. And I fixed it, so I'm pleased with that. It could be that we damaged the engine a bit, so... let me see. Alright, then let's turn on our mode C, 1200 VFR, that's good. We can enable all of these windows here. Very good. What frequencies do we need? Well, what we need is ATIS 118.25, 118.25. And what we can also look at is the chart for Ramona. So we already have that ATIS in, 132.025. Okay, nice. Go back to Palm Springs and let's see. Clearance 128.35, 128.35. And in the standby we can use ground 121.9.
Bonanza 522 Papa Mike, Palm Springs clearance on departure frequency 126.7.
I think that's someone else part of the VFR challenge there that's doing a request.
Yeah, 522 Papa Mike didn't call yet. That was another request.
It's
Palm Springs INTL information Oscar.
Oscar. Okay, that's good enough for me. I've already looked at the meter.
Ramona at 4,500 with flight following departure to the south.
Oscar. Okay. Again, looking at my route, so initially departure to the east at 1500, and I'm not going to request flight following.
Sorry about that. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 2121.
No problem, November 65415 on departure. Departure frequency is 126.7 and squawk 2121 in the box.
Compass is now, heading indicator is working. Alright, 128.35, is that checked?
And Palm Springs clearance, good afternoon.
Yep.
This Bonanza 522 Papa Mike now, and
it's busy.
Flight following to Ramona, departure south.
This is cool.
Bonanza 522 Papa Mike, Palm Springs clearance, departure frequency 126.7, squawk 5635.
Departures on 126.7, squawk 5635, Bonanza 522 Papa Mike next.
Palm Springs
Bonanza 2
clearance,
Papa Mike, reback.
Test November 733.
It's busy on Palm
for
Springs.
flight following to Ramona.
Everyone is going to Ramona. Oh, this is cool. What is she thinking? Like, why is there suddenly so many traffic on Palm Springs going to Ramona?
Squawk 2313.
Okay, departure frequency is 126.7, squawk 2313, November 733 Uniform Charlie.
Hey, Chili.
Uniform Charlie, read back correct.
So VFR challenges. You should hop aboard here. Get your own airplane to Palm Springs. Fly with us to Ramona.
Echo requesting flight following to Ramona with information Zulu.
Oh, this is cool. Oh my gosh.
And say again the call sign.
Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo.
So that's idle to full.
It says that 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo, Palm Springs ground. You're looking for a taxi?
Palm Springs ground, Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo, Cessna 172 Skyhawk requesting flight following to Ramona with information Zulu.
Says the 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo. Make your request with clearance delivery.
Set my nav radios here. So let's give everyone a little bit more time.
Sorry?
Charlie Alpha.
Can we already see, guys?
12 o'clock and 8.
Taxiing. Not yet. You can hop over to PilotEdge.net and see on the map where everyone is, but Palm Springs should be a bit more crowded than usual, which is really, really good. Yes, Stefan, exactly, should be busy. And that's also a limitation that I put on the flight plan.
Charlie Alpha, Roger. The weather is showing scattered at 2,000.
So this is the weekly VFR challenge. Again, guys, for those who are new, this is a new idea. I'd like to fly on a weekly basis VFR and challenge myself a bit. And I'm inviting everyone with a PilotEdge account to join me every Monday, starting at 17:30 Zulu time, to fly with us, to increase VFR traffic, to learn from that, but also just to have fun and fly together.
So it's 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo.
General rules.
Palm Springs ground, Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo and a Cessna 172 Skyhawk requesting flight following to Ramona.
Says the 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo. I did receive I got your request the first time. However, you're on ground frequency. Departing Palm Springs, it is a Delta, but given the Tersa, if you're looking for flight following, you'll want to contact clearance delivery. If you need the frequency, it's 128.35.
128.35, thank you, Sierra Tango.
Palm Springs always a bit confusing for everyone.
Good morning, Skype number 65415. We are located on the west signature with information Bravo request taxi VFR.
Sky 65415 Palm Springs ground, runway 31 left, taxi via Whiskey Alpha.
Taxi to runway 31 left via
Yeah,
Whiskey and
Geriatric.
Alpha, November
Good to see you. Hey, Vega, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
In Palm Springs ground, Bonanza 522 Papa Mike is at terminal ramp with the information.
It's so busy.
This
is so cool.
Mike, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 left, taxi via Bravo Whiskey Alpha.
Bravo Whiskey Alpha to 31 left for 2 Papa Mike.
3-1 left, okay. So there's 3-1 left. We're going to depart from 3-1 right.
Correction. Skyhawk 7 Charlie Alpha, San Luis Airport's off your 9 o'clock, 6 miles.
Also, if you're in
Skyhawk
helicopter
Charlie
flying,
Alpha,
you're
thank you.
also
Scorpio
free to join. Ah, here we can see two buddies here jumping aboard the VFR challenge as well today. And here's someone else. Very, very cool. Alright, so I'm not interested in flight following, and this is always a bit confusing because I think that you're always required to start with clearance, but then declare that you're not interested in flight following, I believe. If you're not interested in flight following, always start at the lowest in the chain, I think. So let's see what happens.
Or 17.
Yeah, Geertrick.
Disregard.
But the point that I was trying to make, referring to the flight plan, is
237 Charlie Alpha.
that once these
reports,
VFR
mid-fold
challenges,
right
if they
downwind,
become
runway
more
29.
popular, we need to
Okay,
not
we'll give
request
Rocket
flight
Field
following
right
with
down
7
Charlie
pilots at the same time. And to be considerate of that. That's why I've put this box in here as a general rule. Like, guys, be clean and be as lean as possible in that sense. But I don't know how popular these VFR challenges are going to be. I think this is really cool, and on a weekly basis, every same time, especially for European PilotEdge members, I think it's valuable to keep a pace going and to get to know each other a little bit better and fly. Enough talk. Time for radio talk. Palm Springs clearance, good day. Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Tango Any Mike on the east ramp with information Oscar for a departure to the east. Negative flight following. Let's see what she's gonna say. Perhaps she's gonna say, well, just go to
PHTIM Palm Springs clearance departure frequency 126.7 squawk 5676.
126.7 and squawk 5676 for Papa Hotel Tango Any Mike.
PHTIM reback track.
5676. Also, interesting announcement, by the way. I have ordered the GNS 430 device by RealSim Gear. So an actual hardware device that I'm going to mount onto my cockpit here. Also, I have some other devices, USB devices, that I'm going to mount on my cockpit to make it a little bit more fancy. An audio panel and autopilot panel. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of paint and screwing and stuff to do some upgrades there, especially for my IFR training. I think the flight that I did with Keith Smith was really, really cool, and he showed me how valuable the GPS actually is. Also just for hand flying, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And he was so quick with using the GNS 430 that he has in his lens here, and I thought I'd like to learn that as well. So it has been ordered and it will be there in the next week or so. I will do a full review of the device to show you guys how cool it actually is. So alright, switch ground. What's our next frequency for the tower? And that is 119.7. So meanwhile, other pilots, as part of the challenge, are already on their way, taxiing. And we're all going to Ramona. It's also going to be busy at Ramona. 1 to 1.9, yes.
Duke Zero Delta Sierra clears John Wayne Airport. Runway 34 departure procedure to Needles, as filed, except after thermal, clear direct Palm Springs, VOR, KO7 arrival. Maintain 6,000, expect flight level 220 10 minutes after departure. departure frequency 134.65, squawk 5141, hold to readback.
Hey, Digital, good to see ya.
November 7 Charlie Alpha, have you in sight, runway
You're
29
still
clear to land,
in time to go to Palm Springs and join us if you like. Or go to Bermuda Dunes and start from there.
I had a step on you there. Was that landing clearance?
You are missed.
7 Charlie Alpha.
November 7 Charlie Alpha, affirmative. Wind 280 at 7, runway 29 clear.
Good.
Could land 29er, 237 Charlie Alpha.
60 Delta Sierra, go ahead.
I'm both at ground at Duke 710 Delta Sierra. Can you please just confirm the initial cleared altitude?
Duke 0 Delta Sierra, initial altitude maintains 6,000.
Roger, Duke 710 Delta Sierra. We're cleared to John Wayne. Runway 34 departure procedure to Needles. Then asphalt until thermal. Then we'll be direct to Palm Springs. Join the KO7 arrival. Initial climb
Windows
6,000,
giving me an
followed
announcement that it likes to update.
134.65 and squawk 5140.
Duke 0 Delta Sierra, readback, correct.
Pumpkins, Colonel Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo at East Ramp with information Zulu for East departure. Negative flight following.
You're still on ground.
Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo, you're still with Palm Springs ground. Were you not able to reach anyone on clearance?
That's a good question. Again, learning. This is just education and training.
Unfortunately, no, I didn't. Sorry. I'll try again.
Thank you.
Palm Springs ground, Sky Papa Delta Tango, Mike East Ramp, ready to taxi.
Request flight following to Paris Valley at 5,500.
I stepped on.
PHTIM, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Bravo.
31 right via Bravo, thanks, Papa Delta Mike. Alright, let's get going. Brake
Palm
test.
Springs Tower, Bonanza 522, Papa Mike, hold it short 31 left.
Okay, so we're all gathering around runways on Palm Springs. Heading indicators working, turn, slip.
Ground, departure
Looks
frequency
good.
134.9.
Weather is improving.
5535.
Awesome.
34.9.
So 31 left.
3 Lima Sierra.
Do I see someone
Cover 3 Lima
standing
Sierra,
there?
Ground, Cessna November
Yes,
7th.
a Cessna.
Charlie ready to taxi.
Cool guys.
Runway,
So
31
glad
right.
you already jumped in at the first VFR challenge
There's 733
ever.
Uniform Charlie, Palm Springs ground. Are you on the east side or west side?
I'm on the east side. 733 Uniform Charlie.
How many people are currently on Palm Springs? Can anyone just go to the PilotEdge website and have a look to see how many airplanes there actually are currently on Palm Springs? It's nice just to know how many people showed up for this first event.
November 7th Uniform.
Hey Matt, good to see you. Thanks.
522 Papa Mike, Palm Springs Tower, course approved. Wind calm, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Okay, that's the first
31
takeoff.
left, cleared to go on course approved. 2 Papa Mike, thanks.
Torrance ground, Arrow 3 Lima Sierra, ready to taxi.
Alright, 31 right, this is
3 Lima
Bravo.
Sierra, runway 29
I
right,
do like to
taxi
do
via
a
Alpha
run-up.
Juliet.
29 right via Alpha Juliet, 3 Lima Sierra.
This is how we create
Palm
traffic,
Springs,
guys.
Cessna,
VFR traffic, just to schedule and do things together. This is so cool. Okay, mixture full in, we're already warm, 1800. Still a bit weary of my engine. No annunciator messages. Good.
Sierra Tango Echo, Palm Springs ground, correction,
Mag
Palm Springs
test
clearance.
seems
At
good.
frequency 126.7,
Idle.
squawk 4074, just confirm you said negative flight following.
Looks good. Back to
watch that
1000.
negative
Send
flight
lights
following.
on, strobe
Can you,
lights on.
read back the squawk
Ah,
view?
there's the departure. First challenge departure. It's actually a Piper Cub
4074.
or something alike. That's cool.
Contact
Okay.
frequency 126.7, squawk
Looks good.
407.
Let's get to Ramona, guys.
Papa Sierra Tango Echo.
So that's the 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo, readback correct.
6. Thanks, Cessna Sky Pilots. That's cool. 6 people. Alright, switching to tower. What's our departure frequency? That was 126.
Parking via Alpha, this frequency
7.
Charlie Alpha.
Departure's not going to do anything fancy because we
Bonanza 2 Papa
requested
Mike, you are
negative
radar
flight following.
contact SoCal departure.
2 Papa Mike's over to departure, thanks.
Palmspring Tower, good morning, Skype number 65415, short of...
Also cool, Reality
Lake on Alpha, ready
XP
to go
GPS here. We can see when someone is
Skype
transmitting here,
65415
like the real
Palm Springs Tower.
device, which is actually quite handy. Also, when we are transmitting, you can see that there, which is nice feedback to know whether your system is actually working.
Left down, wind departure approved, and cleared for takeoff runway 31 left, November 415.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyhawk, Papa Delta Tango Mike is holding short 31 right at Bravo, ready for departure south east.
PHTIM, Palm Springs Tower, wind calm, right downwind departure, approved, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff. There is traffic departing the left side, he's just blown onto the runway now.
Clear for takeoff, right downwind, 31 right, and we have the traffic inside Papa Delta Tango Mike. Because we're all flying together. Alright, lights on, mixture on.
Ready to taxi.
Spirit is on, VFR challenge is on. Let's get to Ramona.
Runway 31 right, taxi via Bravo.
This is so cool, guys. We're going to do this each and every week. So if you're not able to attend, attend next time. I already have a very nice VFR challenge in store for next Monday. So airspeed is alive. Engine is still looking good. 40.
Bonanza 522,
got full RPM.
SoCal departure, radar count.
60.
Correction, maintain appropriate.
And there we go.
Palm Springs altimeter 2989er.
Push down on the nose, VY first. A little bit windy.
Duke 710 Delta Sierra, runway 34,
That's
taxi
nice.
Alpha.
Nose up.
Alpha 70 Delta Sierra.
There we go. Goodbye, Palm Springs.
PHTIM, early crosswind turn approved.
Early crosswind turn, Papa Delta Mike. Alright. So she is now managing increased VFR traffic. These kinds of calls you don't hear when you're flying alone on the network that often. And that makes this stuff interesting, I think. Alright, heading back to the left. On the crosswind. Where's that other traffic?
Palm Spring Tower, Cessna 8, Papa Sierra Tango Echo, holding sharp way 31 right.
Alrighty, there we go on the downwind. Going to 1500, 1000 feet AGL.
Hey, Papa Sierra Tango Echo, Palm Springs Tower, right crosswind departure approved, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff. Wind.
Yep, I can see him standing. There he is. Alright, so we can climb through.
PHTIM, your radar contact.
Roger, Papa Delta Mike.
Sky 415, your radar contact, SoCal departure.
Over to departure, November 415. Good day.
Oxford Tower, this is Skyhawk 213 Sierra. 30 miles
Climbing
west,
through already.
landing with Juliet.
Which I shouldn't, because the challenge is to stay
There
below
213
1500.
Juliet Sierra Oxnard Tower, report midfield right downwind, runway 25.
213 Sierra, can you repeat that?
Landing lights off.
November 21 Juliet Sierra, report midfield right downwind, runway 25.
Getting back to 1500.
213 Sierra, report midfield downwind, right.
And let's continue.
PHTIM contact departure.
Over to departure, Papa Delta Mike. Alright.
So
Shifts.
departure, good morning, Skype number 65415 on the left downwind departure, passing 2000, climbing 4500.
Gag 65415 circuit departure. Thank you, Palm Springs altimeter 2989er. You do have traffic ahead and above you, about 5.5 miles. The Bonanza climbing out of 6,000.
Altimeter 2989er, and we have the traffic inside, November 415.
Oxnard Tower, Sky 213.
Trying to squeeze myself into this radio chatter.
Report midfield, right. I don't see runway 30.
Alright, we're already at departure, so I'm going to
213 Juliet Sierra,
continue my
25.
route here.
Midfield right downwind, runway 25.
213 Sierra, report midfield right 25. Thank you.
SoCal departure, Sky Hotel Tango Mike at 1500 level.
3:50 a.m. circuit departure, Palm Springs altimeter
89er, Papa Delta Mike. Alright.
November, correction, Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo, your radar contact SoCal departure.
There we go. And we are on our way, guys. This is cool.
Piper 623 Lima Sierra.
Yes, Matt, that's true. She's on different frequencies because there's just one controller available for PilotEdge, so multiple frequencies are governed or are worked on, which is actually also something that can happen in the real world, so it's not realistic. Okay, so we're flying. This is the highway that we're going to follow. Bermuda Dunes is in front of us. And again, the challenge is to not go any higher than 1500 feet AGL, not MSL, but AGL, to get to Ramona. So I'm planning to fly from airport to airport. Now, obviously, I'm not actually going to fly right over the airport at 1500 feet because that's usually the traffic pattern altitude, and I will be just bouncing through that traffic pattern and potentially other VFR traffic in the pattern. So I'm just gonna fly near it. But I do have that reference point in mind. Now, I did not request flight following, so why am I still on departure? That's because Palm Springs is a bit of a unusual airspace. It's a TRSA, that's this blackish line here, which is kind of like a Charlie Airport thing. So as soon as we are outside of that airspace, I think departure is going to say, good luck, Tim, have a great day. And if not, we're gonna say that. Or request. Yeah, Geriatric, yeah, it's that stuff. And especially when 6 airplanes just show up at an airport. But I think this is also fun for the controllers to work with. Alright, let me see. 116.20, that is my nav1 that I set for thermal. And I'm a bit surprised that we don't have a reading yet. So what we could do to verify is to listen to the Morse code. And here's the Morse code.
Duke 710 Delta Sierra Bullhead Tower, wind 190 at 7, runway 34, clear for takeoff.
And I don't hear anything. Ah, I see what the problem is. It's already still set to GPS mode because I was learning about the GPS. So we need to go to nav, and there it is. And we're partially flying. Oh. 2V2. 1200, yeah, that's about right.
Lima, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi Bravo.
Perfect. 1200 to thermal.
Piper 623
There's Bermuda Dunes.
Departure, radar contact, maintain appropriate vehicle altitudes, LA altimeter 29er.
And this is actually not... I'm too close to the airport actually, because we have left traffic here, and I think the airport elevation of Bermuda Dunes is also at 0 or at 500 feet MSL. So that means that we're now flying on traffic pattern altitude on the downwind leg. So in either case, I should have turned to the CTEF and say, hey guys, here we are. But I didn't realize it was so close near the highway. So that's one thing I can improve on my next flights.
November 3 Juliet Sierra, runway 25, cleared to land, wind 250 at 7.
213 Juliet Sierra, clear to land, 25.
Nice VFR flying. This is so cool. Let's also lean our engine a bit, even though we're not above 3,000 feet MSL. We conserve fuel, which is a good thing. Double check our compass here, 120-ish. It's actually around 115, which is good. Correct for gyro drift, and everything is still looking good. 1500. Okay, need to go to thermal, and again the same applies. If we keep flying like this, 7.2 nautical miles, we will cross over.
radar systems terminates VFR frequency change.
Squawk VFR, thanks for that. Papa, that's you, Mike. 1200. And we are free to go. We were already free to go, but now we are not followed by ATC. But I don't like to fly over thermal airports for the same reason, because there might be other traffic there. So we could listen to the CTAF. I mean, you can see the thermal over there. We can also just keep a bit to the right here and we're fine as well.
Sky 6065 Lima.
Other option is to fly a bit lower.
Runway 31 right, cliff takeoff.
And not exactly on the traffic pattern. Our AGT is suddenly dropping quite rapidly. And I was noticing I was leaking RPM, so that worries me a bit. Again, I'm not quite sure about our engine, because we had some startup problems with flooding, and there was a bit of a new reality extension pack behavior, so I'm a bit cautious looking at the engine here. Even though we're flying quite low, I would not expect to see a very high AGT.
Delta Sierra, Los Angeles Center.
But it should not drop entirely to the bottom, so that's what I'm looking for. Well, Track IR is actually working perfectly here. What really helps is that you're not using the fancy Pro device, but you're actually using the reflector, so the basic noob device here, which works much more smoother, much better, given that there's not any light source behind you, sunlight or a window, and then it works perfectly.
30 Delta Sierra, your radar contact 21 miles northwest.
Right. Well, light, you can look at closer at light sources, and there are some settings that you can tweak, but mostly it's just that.
Sky 6065 Lima, your radar contact.
Or just indeed smooth head movements, physical head movements.
3 Lima Sierra, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
Alright, so I'm still in contact with departure, which is not really that necessary. So what we can do, two things. We can swap over to thermal CTAF. We can also swap to a very interesting frequency, which is going to be used often, I think, for these VFR challenges. And that is the magic frequency, 123.45.
Second departure, Cessna 665, Lima 1700.
Which is the pilot-to-pilot frequency, and that also works here on PilotEdge. And this is a way where you can freely chat with other pilots who are in contact here, just to chat about anything other than what you are talking to with ATC about, to, you know, flight operations and that stuff, which is interesting. Again, listening to my engine, I'm a bit worried. It sounds weakish. There's the Salton Sea Lake, which is correct if I look at my map here. So we're going the right way. I'm also quite familiar with this area, so we shouldn't be too much trouble. So let's do a announcement here. Let's see if someone is listening. What's actually the proper way to do this? Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango in your mic is curious to see if anyone is on this frequency.
Hey team, Digital Aviator.
Digital, good to hear your voice. Where are you? Have you just departed from Palm Springs, or are you starting from Bermuda, or what's your position?
I'm holding short runway 28 at Bermuda Dunes, and I'm just about to take off here.
Awesome, awesome. Alright, so he's at Bermuda Dunes.
November 65415 is on the frequency as well.
Good to hear, guys. So glad you jumped in your airplanes here to do this VFR challenge with me. Really appreciate it. This is so cool.
Yes, that's great, and actually it's a pretty cool IG because I've tried to do it on a Facebook flight group, but people are just afraid of being controlled by ATC, so it's nice to see that much people on the frequency today.
Yes, I totally agree, and that's also one of the challenges I think that went through my mind when thinking about these VFR challenges, is to make them really accessible also for PilotEdge pilots who are not that familiar with the CAT ratings and all of the fancy complex VFR stuff that we can do. So I'm glad that some of us jumped aboard here. It's really, really cool. So yeah, that's what the 123.45 frequency is for. I'm already a few hundred feet above the challenge, which is not good. So, and that's also why I picked this particular challenge. It's not that fancy. But
I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to take off from Bermuda Dunes and then I'll get back on frequency.
Roger. First off, to stay low at the ground, there are some considerations that you can look at making this particular flight. Also looking at the sectional, which is interesting. And we're flying. Usually, you're flying a bit higher. So terrain-wise, that's important. There's also another consideration, is that altitude is also your best friend in terms of emergencies, because it buys you time. If you're flying higher and you've got engine trouble, you've had some distance to glide. Also, you have a much better view of the landscape, especially when you're flying VFR and you're using visual reference points. It's important, right, to be high up. So that's important, and also in case of this particular flight, I don't know if anyone has planned another route, for example going through this valley, which might seem obvious and more like a shortcut to Ramona. Usually we're not looking at this stuff, but there's an interesting box here. You're actually crossing a sensitive wildlife area, and ATC requires us to fly a minimum altitude of 2000 AGL, and the challenge was to stay lower than 1500. So these are just tiny things, and that's what I try to do with these VFR challenges. Just nice subtle ways just to, again, freshen up our knowledge, to sharpen our attention when we look at our sectionals. There's so much to learn still, even as a fully CAT rated PilotEdge pilot, to still perfect your VFR skills. We will never stop learning, and these are just silly, simple things that...
All right, I'm in the air.
Good to hear. So that's...
Tim, I see that you're going to fly towards the east, close to the Salton Sea.
Yeah, that's correct. And then I'm going to Borrego, and then to Julian, and then I hop over to Ramona. That's the idea.
Roger that. I'm going to do some little bit of mountain flying, shortcutting to Warner Springs directly.
Awesome. Are you also streaming or not?
Nah, I sadly didn't have the time to set all of that up, but I think I'll be streaming tomorrow.
Ah, roger that. So Digital Aviator is also a streamer, and a good friend, PilotEdge friend of mine and of ours.
I'm back on the frequency. I've just stopped the flight following. It's going to be easier for me to chat on this frequency rather than having too many both frequencies at the same time.
Yeah, good idea.
Makes sense. Alrighty. So again, for those who are new, I'm just reminding, because it's so cool, and it's just a free event, and you can join us if you have a PilotEdge account. Let me bring up...
to full here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
5x5.
So just to give you some context, we're now flying. I'm now flying with...
So I'm pretty much taking the same route as Tim, taking the Salton Lake, Salton Sea, sorry, route.
Roger. We're now flying. I'm now flying with other PilotEdge members that I've never spoken to or met before on a forum, which is cool. This is bringing us together on the PilotEdge network while we're doing what we love.
Is already far in front of us.
So this is what it's all about. And so if you have a PilotEdge account, feel free to just jump on board. We do these flights individually. You're not required to talk on this frequency. You can just do your own flight together
3 to 4 miles just in front of
and just enjoy the VFR traffic, which I think is really, really cool. And this is the flight plan that I will post each and every week, or a different flight plan obviously, but this is what it looks like.
Bonanza 522, Papa Mike is checking in on Freak Miss Bruce, sorry.
Hello and welcome.
With a particular challenge. And so each and every Monday at 17:30 Zulu time, we start at a particular departure airport and we fly to a destination airport, and there's one new challenge that we need to meet. And we're going to do this each and every week. And I think it's very simple, but it's really, really cool. And it also inspires us, hopefully, just to fly more often, but also to fly together. So, again,
Cockrum is just
you're
off my
welcome
left
to
wing. Any of you guys close by?
participate next Monday. I will publish the next flight plan,
I've
for
just
next
started,
Monday,
Bermuda Dunes, I'm going to the southwest,
tonight or tomorrow
towards the
or so.
mountains.
Flaps up. Keith said that he used 130 for support reasons, not to use it for air-to-air, and appropriate air-to-air would be something like 1227 pi, which is the published air-to-air frequency. Roger that. Yeah, I think that 123.45 can be used for this.
I'm ahead of the pack. I'm going to do a left 360.
Go ahead. Sounds good. Okay. So you can hear the frequencies, yeah, getting used by many pilots that I've never heard or seen before. And we're just flying to Ramona and have fun. And obviously, just aside from just chatting here on the frequency, you see so much more traffic. You need to deal with that as well. Now, with the departure, it wasn't that difficult. I had a unique kind of departure instruction, an early crosswind lag. It's not a big thing, but again, this is stuff that then happens. The controllers also need to work their stuff there. But imagine once we go to Ramona. I'm
already experiencing the challenging part of this flight because I have some pretty steep mountains here to climb. And of course, I cannot exceed 1500 AGL, so that's going to be maybe a 360 or 2 for me.
Good luck with that, Digital. But imagine we're with the 6 of us, or perhaps already 8. I don't know how many are currently flying.
Are you on the Skyhawk as well?
Yes, and let the expansion back.
Where we're gonna fly and reach Ramona in a few minutes with the 6 of us. How are we going to enter the traffic pattern? This is going to be interesting.
The mountains,
I think.
With the valley.
Hey Chris, good to see you. Welcome.
Roger that. I'm passing through that valley where it says Pinyon Pines on the VFR chart.
Looking.
Alright, so I'm now currently over here. And I'm now trying to make this turn to the right and get to Borrego.
Oh, I see.
There's not really a very definite kind of visual reference that I can use. What I can use, because I do like to spot Borrego, is use Julian, which I already set the Vortec 114.00. Yes, that's correct. And like this. That's 233. Seems about right. So we can continue our flight for just a tiny bit more. Once we hit that radial, we can continue flying 233, and we fly over Borrego if all goes well.
I don't know how many of you guys are using the FS enhancement by Enrico, but the last version is just outstanding.
Yeah, I've been looking for some weather and general enhancement add-ons, and I haven't really found the one that I really liked, but I might give that one another try. I've tried it a few times, but maybe the update is actually pretty good.
It is. I'm not using Reshade, by the way, but even without Reshade, the update is really nice.
Roger that, I'll give it another look.
Hey dogs, good to see you.
I'm using FS Enhanced. I don't think I'm using the latest.
Captain, thanks.
But I'm not using Reshade.
Yeah, you should.
Just
if you have a PilotEdge account, participate, join.
I'll definitely give the latest update a look as well.
It's really fun.
I'm actually using Reshade at the moment, and just some cloud textures. That's basically all I have, and I'm actually quite happy with it. But,
look at those mountains.
Maybe it's better.
Engine is still looking good. Some clouds in the distance, far distance. Again, I can fly 233, I guess, without hitting that mountain top, so that's why I'm a bit off. Also because the terrain is going up.
I am currently in the Borrego
I can fly higher.
and I have a traffic at my 2 o'clock.
Roger that. It's going to be the Learjet, isn't it? Some kind of fast-going, ignorant jet.
Yeah, it looks pretty fast from where I am now, so probably a drone.
Yeah, that's AI.
Or something.
There's some kind of Learjet doing traffic patterns or something like that on Borrego airfield where we're going to right now as a reference point here, which is an insane fast airplane, and because it's AI it doesn't care about us, so you need to be very, very careful there, and that's actually good practice. So we need to look out for other traffic while we're making this turn. Again, let's see if we can catch this radial 233. Now, what's also an interesting consideration in reference to the 1500 feet AGL ceiling challenge is not just that we cannot go any higher than that, and what kind of things we need to think about in those terms, but also how low can we actually fly. So we can fly lower than 1500 according to the challenge, but does that mean that we can also fly at 700 feet? Are we legally allowed as VFR pilots to do that? And usually you don't think about that stuff that often, I guess, as a VFR pilot, especially not when you're flying on the PilotEdge here in the sim. But I think that stuff is just cool to freshen up, and I'm hoping that these weekly VFR challenges inspire us to, again, get also more academically interested in VFR flying and that system, and how wonderful it is to be a proper experienced VFR pilot. But perhaps that's just me. There's so many IFR pilots out there, and I'm also very eager to learn IFR flying as well. But still, VFR flying is really, really cool, let alone here in group flights. I think that's really nice. Yeah, Vega, that's true. My aviator hat and glasses. Yeah, I have them on my stand there. I cannot reach those, but you're right. It was appropriate. Okay, we are on the radial. I think we're now a bit lower than 1500 feet AGL. VFR is good stuff. Now, what's going to be interesting is we are currently flying in quite flat area here, as you can see on the map. But as we go beyond Borrego, also we have to go up to cross this mountain ridge. And what I'd like to do is again follow this particular highway. That also suggests that there's kind of like a, how do you call it in English? There's room for us to pass for that, to pass through that mountain ridge, and also in case again of engine trouble, we have a road where we can possibly land, or we can land near, so we can be picked up by a car. Those are actually good considerations. So never fly in deserted areas like these, where and you have no visual reference points, and if you have trouble, you cannot get out easily.
The stream is actually keeping Tim pretty busy. I can see him on Twitch.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm watching as well.
So
likewise.
These are interesting considerations, I think, and I'm also
it's
just
not easy, you know, to
curious just to
fly
learn from you guys as well.
Being concentrated on what you're doing and talking to the audience, it's not a very easy game.
No, absolutely, especially if you're doing something tricky like low altitude flying.
Yep.
At the same time, though, what does help, in my mind, is just to think out loud, and that's something that streaming actually forces you to do, which is actually quite a good psychological principle for any kind of learning. If you talk out loud, if you think out loud, that really helps to structure and articulate what you're thinking, and it can actually improve your performance in many ways. But doing other things than flying while you need to fly, yeah, that's a troublemaker. You're right.
But you're doing a great job, so...
No, thank you, sir.
Apparently it's not a problem for you.
Alright, but we do need to be focused. So I'm watching that radial. I can see...
Sam, I'm making the right turn towards Reno. You're probably... I've been keeping my eyes up for you, but I think you're definitely way ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm approaching Borrego as well, staying at the north side of it, just to avoid that nasty Learjet, and then I go over the hills to Ramona. Okay. Good. So there should be some kind of Learjet here making traffic patterns. Now again, alright, we need to avoid clashing into that Learjet. But there's another consideration. Especially when the aircraft are getting...
How is the turbulence for you guys? I'm getting some pretty extreme turbulence here in the mountains.
All smooth on this end. All smooth.
Yeah, here as well, but I'm not in the mountains just yet. But it's a good heads up, thanks.
I'm already in the mountains. It was quite bumpy on the departure, but after 5 minutes it just went out, so I'm okay now.
Alright. That's also an advantage. But is wake turbulence. So even the Learjet, especially if you have a fancy weather engine running, the Learjet can actually make some nasty wake turbulence even for a Skyhawk. So again, also a consideration. Aside from just not flying into other aircraft, you also need to visualize those trails of wake turbulence, because if you've got a fancy weather engine, that is actually simulated. Vega is a tracker that keeps your head upright and level when the plane is turning. A tracker that keeps your head upright and when the... No. Not necessarily. It could be, but I also have... I'm running also another plugin. I paid some payware that animates that effect. So once I turn my Skyhawk, there's an automatic.
Now I'm getting
an automatic
up and down drafts
turn
of up to 1,000 feet per minute.
That seems a bit too extreme.
Yeah, maybe, but it was quite windy. The ATIS said it was gusting 13 at when I was on the ground. So yeah, in the mountains that can generate quite some extreme up and down drafts. But yeah, it's a bit extreme maybe.
Well, we'll take an eye on that. I know on the sectional, let me see, that is southwest, on the sectional, the VFR sectional southwest of Borrego. There's actually also a depiction on the map warning pilots for extreme turbulence when there are high wind conditions. So yeah, I think X-plane rules again with realism. I will take a careful look here as soon as I'm going to cross these mountains.
And just for your information, I'm about 11 miles southwest of Borrego, and I'm level at 4,500. It seems that there's some clouds formation at 5,000, so I hope it won't be a problem for the rest of the flight.
Good to know, thanks. Yeah, so we need to stay VFR, so that means clear of clouds, and even more so, it's the 3-5-1-2 rule. So at least 3 nautical miles of visibility, 500 feet below the cloud base, not any closer, 1,000 feet above it at least, and 2,000 feet laterally away from the clouds. That's the minimum for VFR and Echo airspace, which we are in. Now I'm flying a bit to the south here because I'd like to catch this particular road. And that can guide me through the valley, and I think that road is over here to the left. So that's what I'm interested in. Don't go too high up, again to honor the challenge. Yeah, Vega, I think it's nice as well, Trek IR. And it really takes some time to just to familiarize yourself with Trek IR, but as soon as you have completed a few flights, it becomes just natural. And it also is not only handy for looking at traffic, especially on PilotEdge, or looking at visual reference points here for navigation, but it also gives you an increased sense of immersion, which I also really, really like. Alright, so far so good. What we can do on the COM2 already is listen to the ATIS of Ramona. Let's see what that is telling us. Papa.
2100 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 6. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 2200 few. Temperature 17. Dew point 11. Altimeter 2998. Arriving runway 27. Departing runway
The
27.
scenery is just amazing.
Advise on initial contact. You have
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, so that's what we have. 9 or 8
It's pretty cool
set.
actually. I'm currently just south of Lake Riverside, small private airfield, and I can see the Palomar Observatory dome in the distance. It's very, very nice as a reference point.
Well, I'm looking forward to that scenery. I know that the Ramona area is just gorgeous. So let's see in just a bit, especially when you've got photoreal going in ortho 4XP. Alright, here we go.
And there are some military activities.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah, that's true. I saw that on the sectional as well as some military training routes that we need to cross over. That's a good one. So you can see guys here, military.
I've just seen a fighter just making a 90-degree angle climb. It's just pretty fast.
Wow.
Oh wow, really? I've never seen that on PilotEdge before.
It's the first time for me actually.
I've seen some pretty fast flying military jets, but never a 90-degree climb. That's pretty awesome.
Ramona. Prepping myself here.
Okay, for me, I think I'm gonna leave the frequency in a couple of minutes from now.
My thinking as well.
Since I'm pretty close from the destination, so good luck.
Roger, thanks for the flight.
Good luck, I will switch over as well. Alright, we're now on the frequency of the tower.
The tower, Bonanza 522, Papa Mike is clear right at Alpha 3 to transient ramp.
Alright, let's see, where is that road heading? Where is...
2880 Quebec, Joey ground, runway 20.
There's that road.
Kilo.
Sorry, that was not 2880 Quebec, making that request.
Let's see.
Disregard. Alright, Mike Echo, turn right heading 010 and say your
there it is.
request.
Alright. Now, it's good VFR flying. Weather, as you can see, is not too good. Map.
Route 8 Mike Echo, Roger, expect that.
Julian is nearby.
This is for the I-1, correct? Thank you. November 2, Papa Mike, taxi to Park via Alpha, remain this frequency, have a great day.
And we can fly a particular radial, or we can actually follow that road to get to Ramona. That's a good one.
Pleasure.
The road is actually leading all the way to Ramona Airport. And once we see that lake on the right side, we know that we are there. So where's the road going? There's a road going this way to the right. And there is a road going to the left, isn't there? Again, Trekayar is such an advantage in these situations. There goes the road, and it goes to the left. We're flying to the west. That's going to be a little bit too far to the southwest, perhaps.
There's your Delta Sierra, contact Los Angeles Center 126.
Which roads? I think I'm going to go with the bigger road here. It's hard to see looking at the map if that's a good decision. Always use the GPS, but I'd rather just fly this first. 7.4 nautical miles away from Julian. So looking at our map here, we're not there at all. We're kind of like here.
John Wayne Ground, Skyhawk 2880 Quebec, with weather information, ready for taxi for IFR departure.
Skyhawk 2880 Quebec, John Wayne Ground.
See a bigger road over here. I don't trust this at all.
Bravo Kilo for 2880 Quebec.
Joining another road here, which I don't quite expect.
13 miles north east of the field.
So
we
that
have
would
already
mean,
inside
in my book,
information Charlie for full stop.
that I'm a bit lost.
65415 Ramona Tower. Just wanted to acknowledge.
Now, what can I do to resolve this?
November 6 at 5.
Obviously, we know where we're coming from.
65415. Make sure to remember 27.
We're still low. I'm sure that we're not in any airspace, so we can just take time. We're in echo airspace, so that's good. We don't need to go to the south, obviously. We're now 7 miles from Julian. So what we can do, obviously, is use Julian to see where we are.
Video check. The volume's a little low, and you kind of sound like you're
It's to the west.
in a hole.
It's exactly on the other side here.
It's not really an echo, but it's just this
And it's 7.5 nautical miles. So with those two data points,
kinda like you're on
we
the
should be able
opposite side
to
of the
infer
room.
where we are looking at the map without looking at the GPS. So let's fly towards Julian for a bit here. We're much lower than 1500 feet. AGL. But we're having fun, almost hitting the yellow airspeed band there. Yellow arc. Alright, west again, let's double check. This is west, but are we actually west?
Yeah, ground 6.
Now I already have some gyro drift already. Ball needs to return though.
624 Lima Lima set up ground. Yes, that's
260-ish, 27. No, it's kind of okay. 27, yeah.
710 Delta
So,
Sierra lock contact.
We're
Los
heading
Angeles
towards
Center,
Julian,
126.35.
6.6 miles. To the west. Whoop. To the west and 6.6. That means we are over there. Okay. That would suggest to me that this is the road that we need to follow. To the left.
There's 710 Delta Sierra Los Angeles Center. Thank you. Palm Springs altimeter 2989er.
Interesting.
Band,
So that's how we use VORs to know where we need to go to, rather than just immediately going to the GPS. And I think this is fun as well, just to use those charts. And also to exercise the psychological skill of not
John Wayne Tower
of gaining, developing, sustaining situational awareness, which is actually pretty hard.
At Kilo, ready for departure.
Alright. Hey, Toto, good to see you. Captain, this is why PilotEdge is important. Totally true.
880 Quebec.
Planes
John Wayne
everywhere,
Tower,
yeah.
6 runway 20 ready, Kilo clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 20 right.
Alright, so still flying
280
southwest. Looking at the DME of Julian, 5.1, and we're gaining. That's also a good sign. We need to pass through bigger mountains. That's also a good sign. What's also a good sign for a flight simmer is that there's a changeover in tile gradient, as you can see. And I recognize this tile gradient as the one that is part of Ramona, so that's also a good sign. It's a bit of a cheat. But overall, I think we're following the right road. So let's do that. What we can then do, without distracting myself too much, is following that road, which should lead us all the way down to Ramona. And as soon as we see this particular reservoir on our right side, we know that we are just on the doorstep of Ramona's Delta, and we can do our request and say, hey, here we are, I'd like to land. That's the idea. I also love the trails that you can see here, the hiking trails. Alright, I can see the road up here. Again, airspeed is good. Altitude is higher, so the air is thinner already at 4,000. This is again one of the risks of flying this low. As part of this challenge is performance.
Ramona Tower, Skyhawk, November 6, 5415.
Thanks for the subscription, Ike. Trusty subscriber and support. I really appreciate that. 10 months. My gosh.
365415 runway 27.
Thanks.
Clear to land.
Hope you're doing well.
Clear to land.
Salute to you as well, buddy.
November 415.
Those at 415, wind 270 at 9er, gust 14.
Okay, some clouds there that we need to avoid.
415.
A bit to the northwest, it all makes sense. 3.4 nautical miles away from Julian, that's good too. Looking at Julian here. So that's good. Now we could also just fly a radial from Julian towards Ramona. That's actually the best, most reliable way of doing things. But I'd rather just go PilotEdge here and follow the road here, and let's see if we are getting near Ramona and if we can spot it in time. I've had a stream a while ago where I was just circling around looking for Ramona, hoping that I didn't bash into the delta there. Here it goes to the left, I think, the road. Or are we going back? It doesn't make sense at all.
451.
Watch my speed here.
Circle approach.
The pitch.
Your destination is towards. Did I hear you correctly?
No, let's just continue. Adventurous cowboy flying, guys. Welcome to the area of Ramona. Beautiful Ramona.
Go turn right heading 090.
Yeah, so this is where it's getting difficult. And again, this is also a disadvantage just flying so low. You cannot see the roads anymore.
Correct.
Or distinguish the bigger roads from the smaller roads.
Over to departure 80 back.
Now I can go actually a bit higher. We're much lower than 1500 feet AGL. But let's circle around and complete this challenge. And let's look for... And that looks like a bigger road. These are tiny roads. So let's go a bit higher, 1500s. What are we doing? Yeah, so this is the road that we were coming from. And it's... yeah, you tell me. Watch my pitch. Watch my pitch.
2880 back to circuit departure, radar contact.
Still looking
right
good.
Heading 010, climb and maintain 3000.
Yeah,
Call
what
with VFR
road are we
request,
going
go ahead.
to pick? Let's use that road. It's going this way. That one. Alright, let's
Number 623
keep our
Lima
climb
Sierra,
going.
circle approach walk 5026, item.
1500 feet AGL. So we're looking for a lake, a reservoir to the right side of us.
You're 3.5 miles from Snake, turn right heading 180.
We have Papa, information Papa of Ramona, that's good. You're making your passengers sick. Yeah, Captain, I'm so sorry. But in the end, I like to make my passengers happy arriving at the destination port that they signed up for.
9.5 miles southeast of Paradise, VOR, Ontario, altimeter 2998, maintaining.
We're flying southwest, that's proper as well. We have a from reading from Julian, that's proper as well.
Ramona Tower, Skyhawk Papa Hotel,
There's
Alpha
digital.
Alpha is 10 miles to the northeast, information Foxtrot, full stop landing.
Look at this area, it's so beautiful.
I've taken the call sign, inbound for Ramona.
That is Papa Hotel Alpha Victor Alpha.
Papa Hotel Alpha Victor Alpha, Ramona Tower, report 3 mile final runway 27.
Runway 27 and report a 3 mile final, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha.
Ramona Tower, November 65415 clear for runway 27 on Alpha 2 looking for the transient parking.
And X-plane is loading weather and it's having trouble. Yeah.
Have a great afternoon.
Parking via Alpha, remain on this frequency.
Okay, so the others have already arrived at Ramona. I'm still looking. X-plane, would you please? Thank you. Still, the road is so hard to distinguish here on X-plane. Let's see. Rather than just looking at the GPS, I just want to follow a road. And it's so clear if you look on the map. It seems to be quite easy, but there are many branches of roads, obviously. I mean, this looks like a proper road or highway or freeway or whatever it is. That's where we are
451
coming from.
Juliet Sierra Palm Springs clearance, standby.
Here, there is a road. There is a bigger
Sky
road.
6 Mike Echo, contact John Wayne Tower 126.8.
There it goes to the
November
right of
0
us
Juliet,
here.
Correction, November 80 Quebec.
Yeah,
State
that seems
request.
better than those other more tinier roads. Interesting. Let's also put on our landing lights on. I don't know how close we are actually to Ramona. Traffic on the right. Well, that's a bit difficult one thing.
John Wayne
these
Tower,
360s,
Skyhawk 348 Mike Echo inbound on the ILS 20 right.
Sky 348 Mike Echo, John Wayne Tower, wind variable at 6, runway 20.
So here is that
20
road.
right, to land 8 Mike Echo.
Yes, so it goes like this and then makes a left turn.
Springs, clearance clear to
Okay.
Phoenix Sky Harbor
Again,
Airport.
the power of a
H1
360 cannot be
departure to Palm
underestimated.
Springs, direct. Blythe.
And there goes the road there to the left.
As
Roger.
filed, maintain 7,000. Expect
Another thing that we can do
after departure.
is
Departure frequency 126.7.
look at our map. How much distance? Around 10.
Phoenix Sky Harbor via the
Alright, and we're currently at
Flight
5.2 from Julian, so we still have 5 miles to go. That's also a trick.
7,000, 13,000.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is the right road.
6.7, 6115.
And we still have some time to go. Once we're at 10 nautical miles, I should be careful, and I should be able to see Ramona. If not, we need to work around things. Still listen to...
Ramona information, Papa.
Yeah, it's still Papa. And obviously, as a VFR pilot, we should be concerned with our view right now.
Remote
This
tower, Cessna
is not
6065
VNC.
Lima, 8 miles to the east with information Alpha 4000 and full stop.
So we should go around here.
And Ramona Tower, Sky Papa Hotel Fix Alpha, 1 mile final now, runway 27.
Yeah, Mark, a good one.
Near PH AVA, runway 27, clear to land, 1270.
7 nautical miles away from Julian, going a bit to the right here.
27 clear to land, Papa Hotel Fix Alpha.
Duke 710 Delta Sierra, SoCal approach, Ontario, altimeter 299.8, cross homeland at 1000.
Again, looking
cross
for a lake.
Frets at 8,000 and 1
or reservoir.
or less.
It's getting exciting, guys. Ah, there goes the cloud. It's a bit more nearby than I thought. That's good. You can see still the road there.
Ramona
Moving
Tower,
along.
Cessna 6065 Lima, 7 miles to the east with information Alpha and full stop.
Again, guys are coming into Ramona as part of this weekly VFR challenge. That's wonderful. This is so cool, guys. Alright, so avoided that cloud.
Palm Springs runway 451, Juliet Sierra signature, taxi 31 left with the weather.
So should keep my visual reference points to the left.
Sierra Palm Springs ground, runway 31 left, taxi with Alpha.
8.6 nautical miles.
Alpha 31 left.
You want to keep those to the left because you can have a much better view, obviously from the left seat, than looking on to the right side.
10 miles northwest, landing with information Bravo.
Alright,
November
where's that road?
correction.
Here it goes. Branches off, but I'm still gonna follow
Cessna
this
8
one.
Papa Sierra Tango Echo, Ramona Tower, report 5 mile final, runway 27.
9 miles, 9 statute miles. So we should be able now to see. Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, was someone else calling around?
There's the
Palm
lake.
Springs?
Wonderful. Okay, so that means that we are very nearby. We're already on tower.
Calling Ramona Tower and Interstate again.
Ramona Tower 6065 Lima, 7 miles to the east.
Can only enter the delta once we have permission.
6065
Or
Ramona Tower.
actually
Thank you. There is
establish
traffic
two-way
inbound
communications.
from the northwest. I'm sorry, northeast. Do you by chance have him inside or know where his location is or no?
Negative on that. We'll be looking 6065 Lima.
65 Lima Roger. Make straight in runway 27. Report 3 mile final.
Alright, so
Straight into
someone else is now going into Ramona. So again, as part of
This is the 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo. Say the distance from the
explain. Oh, thank you.
Ramona Tower, Cessna 8 Papa Sierra Tango
As part of
Echo,
increased VFR traffic,
8 miles northwest.
we now need to listen and develop a picture in our mind of what's going on at Ramona.
This is Papa
which
Sierra
is usually
Tango
not the
Echo.
case
Just
when you're
confirm
flying
you
alone.
said you're northwest. If that's the case, straight is not going to work for you. Enter or right downwind, runway 27.
So I'm now creating spacing.
Sorry, Ramona Tower, can you read back? Yeah.
This is the 8 Papa Sierra Tango Echo. Straight in is not going to work for you if you're inbound for runway 27. If you're inbound from the northwest as well, report mid-filled, right downwind, runway
Honey
27.
bun dude, come and watch my stream, tossers.
Port midfield.
And goodbye.
Right downwind, runway 27.
And Ramona Tower,
Let's
Sky
see.
Papa Hotel Victor Alpha, clear the runway, request taxi to the east ramp.
So flying a bit backwards now.
We're 415 taxi to Barca via Alpha, remain this frequency.
No.
Have a wonderful
I'm
rest
ready
of
to
your
go.
day.
To ramp via Alpha, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha. Thank you.
Hotel Alpha, Victor Alpha, taxi to Barca via Alpha.
I'm very sorry, that was not from me. But taxi to the ramp via Alpha, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha. Thank you.
It was meant for you, I used the wrong call signs. My bad, sorry.
Roger that, thank you.
Piper 3 Lima Sierra, contact circle approach 128.1.
Alright, southwest. $10 miles with Papa northeast. Ramona Tower, Sky Papa Hotel Tango Mike is around 10 miles northeast of the airport, 3,500 inbound for a full stop with Papa.
Ramona Tower, Cessna 6065, Lima 3 mile 27.
Let's wait what she's gonna say.
You're 65 Lima, runway 27, clear land, wind 270 at 9, request 14.
27 clear land, 65 Lima.
PHTAM, Ramona Tower, stay in your direction and distance from the field.
Papa Hotel Tango Mike is currently 7 miles northeast of the airport, currently at 3,300 with Papa inbound for a full stop.
PHTIM, there's 2 other aircraft inbound. One is on final, the other one was reporting from the northwest, but I'm not really sure his location is confirmed. For now, make straight in runway 27, report 5 mile final.
Straight in 27 and report 5 mile final. We'll take a look at that traffic as well. Thanks for the heads up, Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Alright. Yeah, I imagined that there was some other traffic there from the northwest, she said, so that's from our right side.
Cessna 1, November 122 Kilo Lima, East
And I thought he or she was already, I think it was a he, was already nearing Ramona. Alright, lights on, mixture in, everything is set, good. Straight in, 27. Look at that scenery, guys, it is so pretty.
9451 Juliet, Sierra Palm Springs Tower, wind 350 at 4, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
That is Ramona. Is that Ramona? No, it is not Ramona.
20 right at hotel.
Okay, Mike Echo, taxi to Park View Bravo, remain this frequency, it's a pass for the I-1.
Thank you much, Mike Echo.
Where is Ramona? It should be over there. I expected it to be there, but... Ramona, where are you? I'm looking for tower signal, tower lights, something. Guys, where's Ramona? It should be over there. That's how he crashed. It should be over there. Am I?
Ramona Tower 65 Lima clear 27.
Where is Ramona? Again, it just disappears on me each and every time.
065 Lima, taxi to Park View Alpha, remain this frequency, and have a wonderful day.
Park View Alpha.
There it is. My gosh.
So what call is Santa Maria ground for a taxi?
It's so hard to spot, at least for me.
React ground, Cessna November 122 Kilo Lima.
So that's an interesting debrief.
With Foxtrot.
Should be much more systematic or
November
continue a line of... I also forgot about the road entirely.
Thanks for Foxtrot.
Thanks, Odo.
Yeah, well,
Speak up the radio, you're almost whispering. Is that true? Oh gosh.
Sky 80 Quebec, turn right heading 090. That's correct.
Yeah, but I should have followed that particular road or continued on that track.
1 Juliet Sierra, contact SoCal departure.
Departure 1 Juliet Sierra.
Rona Tower, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is 5 miles out on final 27.
On a base to a final entry.
Oops. What's that for me?
8451 Juliet Sierra, SoCal departure, radar contact.
Still no clearance to land still. Ramona Tower, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is now on a 4 mile final runway 27.
PHTAM, wind 270, Niner gust 14, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear land 27, Papa Tango Mike. Good. 4 wides that get down, guys.
Ramona Tower, Cessna 8, Papa Sierra
And
Tango
if I'm
Echo,
right, there should be other traffic
right
there as
runway
well.
for runway 27.
Other human VFR traffic as part of this
Papa
challenge.
Sierra Tango Echo, thank you. Traffic's a short final. A Skyhawk, you'll be number 2 behind him, runway 27, clear to land.
Ah, the other one is behind me.
Traffic in sight, runway
Slipping a bit to get down faster.
Duke 0 Delta Sierra, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
There's other traffic already on the ramp there on the right
Sky
side.
Gate 0 Quebec, you are 3.5 miles from Snake, turn right.
Full flaps.
170.
Let's do this, guys. Complete the first VFR challenge.
Runway 20 right approach.
It's gonna be awesome. 27. Let's see if we can do this. Nose up. Bit too much sensitive on the yoke. And slowly nose down.
Duke 710 Delta Sierra, SoCal approach, John 1 altimeter 299. Fly heading 290, descending.
Someone is behind us, so we need to
request.
go a bit quicker here. Get off of that runway fast. Thanks, guys. At Alpha 2.
Sky Gate 0 Quebec, the heading is 170.
There we are.
Not sure where you're
1,000. Landing lights off, strobe lights off. Let's lean for ground. Something like that. Good. And where do we like to park?
So, fly heading 150.
Those
Keep going
ramps,
heading for a couple mile or two, and then I'll turn you back to the intercept heading. Maintain
so
3,000.
the hangars, the east hangars. FBO also has a name. Pacific Executive Aviation.
PHTIM, taxi to parking via Alpha. Remain this frequency. Have a great afternoon.
Via Alpha to parking, thanks for the help today, and have a great afternoon as well, Bob. Alrighty.
20 Delta Sierra,
that's
20
basic.
degrees right.
Alpha. There we go. And back to the hangars. I think all the guys are waiting on those hangars over there. There's the other traffic now in final. That was really, really interesting. But my gosh. Yeah.
Right, 80
again,
Quebec, you're 1
visual
mile
referencing.
Fly heading 170. Maintain
Man, that stuff. Again, I lost sight of Ramona, and I lost sight of my road. I think I thought I did my initial call, like, hey Ramona, here I am, and then I totally forgot about my approach route. And one thing that I could have done as well, I think, was also have an idea of how many miles away from Julie and Ramona was. So I knew that, that Ramona could not be in front of me that close.
If you give me 2 more degrees to the right.
Also to study the chart to see on what side of the Ramona city, or whatever city this is actually, the airport would be located. So I wasn't really that much prepared. And here are the guys. Look at that, a Piper Cub. 2 Skyhawks that are cuddling together. Let's not hit this tank, fuel tank with our... Let's see if we can do this. Also not with our tail. Look at that! This is cool. There we go. Transponder off. And let's do our check here. Mags look good. And off. Magneto's off. Parker brake set. Boom. Boom. And there we are, guys. At Ramona, the first VFR challenge. And look at this. With how many flights? 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7th was just into land? Yeah. That's a good start for a weekly VFR challenge. We're going to do this each and every Monday, 17:30 Zulu. So if you have a PilotEdge account and you just like to fly, you're not required to be on the voice chat or to do formation flying, but if you're just like us, to maintain your VFR skills and to fly together, especially if you're Europe-based and you like to fly also on times where other pilots, PilotEdge pilots are on the network as well, then this is a great chance. Just participate in these VFR challenges, learn something new, challenge yourself with a nice VFR cross-country flight, and be part of a bigger group. And I think that's really fun. So once again, guys, also I've mentioned this a couple of times, but thank you for jumping aboard for those who did. Look at that. Really nice. Getting really intimate there. This is really cool. So yeah, I guess after this flight, or perhaps tomorrow, I need to look a little bit closer at what we're going to do next Monday, because it needs to be a bit more different than some other kind of dimension to our VFR flying that might be interesting to brush off, or to remember, or to further optimize. So that's the idea. Toto, quick question. Are you running some kind of post-processing on the video output because your XP seems much brighter than usual? No, I do not. No, this is actually what my X-plane looks like, Toto. Yeah. With clouds, particularly hazy day, it's not uncommon in real life to not be able to make out the field until you are 2 or 3 miles from it. Ah, roger. Well, still, I think also for this particular day, I should have been able to see Ramona. So let's just rewind the video, the flight, and let's have a quick look to see what's going on. Mark, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Especially when the sun is low as well. Roger. Nice landing things, guys. Again, yeah. So once again, awesome. Couldn't be a better start. Thank you again, guys, for flying with me today, and hoping that we can all own this event with each other, rather than just being an event of mine. But let's turn this into something really educational and a fun social experience, a weekly experience that just keeps us flying VFR as well. Aside from all of those official IFR challenges and events that PilotEdge is organizing, I think VFR flying is as cool and can be perhaps even more challenging than IFR flying. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to disconnect now because otherwise my airplane will go back in time and the PilotEdge controller will think what's going on here. Let's get back into the cockpit and close the door. There we are. And let's go with our flight controller, or flight recorder, I mean. Here we are, and here's our control P. This is our flight. Alright. What did we do? So, there is Ramona. And here I am flying my circles here because I knew it was busy and I wasn't sure where we were. Now there was a lake, or I think it's over there where now this cloud is hanging. I'm not quite sure. Can we overlook it? Blip, 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 blip. No, there's... well, it is. Yeah, that's the reservoir or lake or whatever it is. Not bluish at all. There are trees on it though. And I think that's a glitch. I think X-Plane doesn't know that that is actually a lake. But still, I recognize it as such, and so I knew that I was still out of the delta. So that was good. While I was making these circles, I also lost track of what road I was actually following. So even though it was a good call to just make sure that I was there outside of the delta, yeah, that was not that smart. Let me see. What road was it actually that we needed to follow? So it seems like that was the one, but again, these are branched off obviously in all kinds of other roads, and And if you look at this chart, again, this is the more generic one, you can see there's just one highway or freeway getting to Ramona. Also important is this stuff, that the Ramona airport is beyond Ramona once we're flying from the east. Something that I didn't explicitly see. So I was already looking in the Ramona city looking for the airport, while I could have actually known that it was actually beyond that. So again, there's so much information on these sectionals that you can actually use in a very strategic, meaningful, important way that I didn't quite do. Now we can hop over to a more detailed chart, and this is the one. And this chart does show all of the other branches, all of the other roads from that highway or freeway or whatever it is. And I could have used this version of the chart, but at the same time it also looks much more confusing, to be honest. Even though it has a much more detailed terrain depiction here, so I could have known that the runway was a little bit there beyond the valley, at the end of the valley, coming from the east. Yeah. So if you look at my track here, yeah, this is. Here I lost track of where is the airport, and I was looking for it here, I was looking for it there, and I couldn't see. And obviously this is the Ramona city, and it was beyond Ramona city, like it is, right? So if I knew that before I went flying, if I was looking at this chart and I knew, hey, Ramona is beyond the city, I could have seen it located over there. So that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson that I totally forgot about, again, as part of my IFR training. Look at that. I mean, I've actually made a left base entry rather than a straight in. So if Marcus was controlling, he would have corrected me on that and say, hey, I didn't instruct you to go left base. Or right base, I should have said, by the way. A right base entry. Yeah, and this is the roads. You can see that road going all the way here, there, and here you lose it again. It's hard. I think that's hard. It went all the way down to this side. So perhaps I was even following the wrong. No, but I was not thinking about the road anymore once I did my first initial call and saying, hey Ramona, here I am. And then I thought, let's go to Ramona direct. And I totally forgot about my my last stage of navigation that I still needed to do. Interesting. And this is also, again, I've emphasized this so many times on my streams as well, also the educational value of flying photoreal. It's not just pretty fancy photorealistic tiles, but this is the exact same kind of navigation and trouble and spotting airports like real world pilots do. So it also brings in so much more realism from a student pilot point of view. Really thinking about spotting other airports. I mean, look at how beautiful Ramona is there, tucked into that photoreal. It's really, really pretty. Okay, let's have a look at the landing. Some slipping there. To get down, it was quite high and not that prepared as well. I should have also already turned my 10 degrees of flaps a bit sooner. Let's have a look. I think my landing was okay. I wasn't ballooning yet. Boom. And slowly nose down. That's okay. Alright. No, that was the wrong button. Go back. I want to have it slow-mo. So nose up, that's good. So main wheels first. Main wheels first. And here there was, you can see that I was really dropping there at the last moment. And I was really correcting for that as well, but now the angle becomes quite exaggerated, I think. So I was already going a bit slow. I was flaring too soon. I was too high off of the runway. So it could have been better. And that's something that I can improve on next time. But not bad at all, obviously. Awesome. Digital, Timber on 123.45 if you want a bit of debrief. Ah, awesome. Well, I need to actually quit my stream because I've actually talked to Mrs. Uncertified and we will be watching television soon because it's still late at night here at late in the evening here in the Netherlands. But I would really appreciate if you guys or some of you can post your conclusions of your debrief of how you thought that your flight went. And put that on the Discord, so we can put that there and we can talk about that, and also with others who couldn't make today's stream, and we can learn from each other's flights as well. I'm really curious what points you guys have found that you like to improve on, or that are specific for this flight. How easy you guys found Ramona as an airport. I mean, that's also a great advantage of doing these weekly VFR challenges, is that because other pilots do the same flight with you. We do these debriefs so we can also learn from each other's points and learning experience, and we can teach others as well. So if you could, that would be really much appreciated. Ramona, our first VFR challenge. Awesome. All right. Okay, so apparently when you quit the flight recorder, that is some kind of a cue for X-Plane to just set your airplane on fire. Now apparently I think I just teleported back and hit the flammable fuel tanks here and exploded. My gosh. First VFR challenge and we ended with a big boom. Let's just continue. I like this site. My gosh. Challenge failed. Yes. Alrighty. Guys, again, first VFR challenge. I think this is cool. Flying together on PilotEdge, doing the same flight, the same challenge, and to learn from each other. We're going to do this each and every week. I've repeated this several times, but just to let those of you know who just jumped in, that this is something that you can participate in as well if you have a PilotEdge account. Just jump aboard your favorite aircraft, take a look at our published flight plans that I'm going to publish on my Twitter account, UncertifiedPilot, also on Discord, and you can grab that flight plan for next Monday, that challenge, VFR challenge, and you can join along and you can try to improve your VFR skills as well and be part of a bigger group and just keep flying. VFR flying as well, not just silly IFR flying and programming autopilots, but actually stick and rudder skills, looking at charts and thinking, navigation by mind. And I think that's really fun and also very valuable. So guys, again, thank you for your presence here on the stream, also for all the viewers and all the chatters. Very much appreciated. Especially many thanks for those who just jumped aboard here in their own aircraft and being part of this very first VFR challenge. Thank you guys. I think it was really awesome. Looking forward to your debriefs at the Discord where we will continue our chats, and hoping to see you all on my next stream. It's going to be this week. I'm going to continue my IFR training as well, doing a RNAV approach, my first RNAV GPS approach, practice approach under VFR conditions, and then I'm going to do my first complete IFR flight for the very first time. So I'm really excited to start with that as well. And then next Monday, the next VFR challenge. So hoping to see you there as well. As always, happy flights and blue skies. Bye.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyline, Hotel Tango, minus 10 miles, 3,000, information X-ray, full stop, and 1-3 left against Fable.
Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250,
Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar contact, about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
That's the yes, please.
Correction, Hotel Tango, India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs Studios plus 4658 is live BC12 slam call request clearance to Vegas S-File.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S-File, I'll be forward 7. Plus 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport. VFI Cathedral 1, departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Cresso, join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000, check flight level 2, 405 minutes after departure, departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Presso 3, initially climb 7,000, inspector, cruiser engine 5, departure 167, clock 63 left, 60 left, switching side.
Pause 4658, readback is correct. Tag with Mike, taxi to ramp via Echo and frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp, I think I think frequency, because I know Mike.
Ontario Tower says 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound smash.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic, left downwind, runway 26, left before base.
And left downwind 26, left before your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242, on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170, Echo 3.
Clear to land, just the right, United 242.
Palomar Tower, 322, Kilo, ILS, runway 24.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26, left, clear to land.
Just left face to land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground plus 4658, East ramp, to weather, calling for taxi.
Pause 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning. Alpha with you on the island.
Number 2903 Alpha Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 clear below approach, report to us.
7 of the Alpha, we have low approach, runway 9. Next report is
Palm Springs Tower plus 465, ready to go to and right at Bravo.
The radio and radio check.
Pause 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to and right plus 465.
Palomar Tower, Kilo,
Here's our Yankee Kilo, rush taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
via Alpha,
Pause 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Says 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi